It's Brendan here once again. So I'm going to be talking about warm-ups. What is a warm-up as opposed to stretching? There's a big difference, and I'm just going to clear that up and go through the 3 do's and don'ts of warming up for your workout. The purpose for a warm-up is to get the muscles loosened up, get them warmed up, just to prime them for exercise, because this gets the blood flowing and it is very crucial for when you go into exercise. It will improve your range of motion, which will reduce the risk of injury. So the first thing to do when you warm up is to warm up for 5 to 10 minutes. Take 5 to 10 minutes. Like a minute warm up is probably not going to be enough, because you want to get the whole body going. Warming up for 5 to 10 minutes is a good general rule of thumb. So with warming up, the type of stretching you want to do is dynamic movements. So there's difference between dynamic and static stretching. First, static stretching involves just holding a stretch. There's no movement involved. Dynamic means there's range of motion. It could be leg swings, you're swinging your arms, you're loosening your shoulders. Those are the movements that will get the blood flowing and get you ready to work out and do so safely. It's like warming your car up first thing in the morning. You let it warm up for a few minutes before you take off. And you know why you do that, right? Because, if it's minus 20 degrees outside, you get in the car and you just take right off. Engine's not fired, the oil's cold, that could increase the chance of, engine problems or what have you. So dynamic movement is key when warming up. The third thing is you want to make sure you warm up your whole body. I know some people like to do the workouts like a split routine. So they might work out their upper body one day, their lower body the next, or they might do chest and back one day, their shoulders another day, and biceps, what have you, and do a leg day and a core day, and they split things up. So even if that's what you do, don't think that you only have to warm up the muscles that you are working that day. So if you're doing upper body, don't just warm up your upper body and do nothing with your legs, because you never know when you go to do, say, a heavy bench press, and all of a sudden you're squeezing, and you could pull a muscle in your leg, which is kind of silly, but a lot of the times it is just because you neglected those other muscle groups. And when you warm up your whole body, you're improving the circulation, the blood flow, especially when you get the legs moving, because they're the biggest limbs in your body. When you get them moving, everything else is going to warm up faster, and it's just going to circulate much better. You can do like simple exercises, jumping jacks, anything that involves a whole body, like different plank variations where you're moving. You can even do just a plank, because even though there's no movement, your muscles are contracting, and that can still be a decent warm-up. Anything to get your whole body moving is awesome. I'm going to carry on to the do-nots of warming up. So I'm going to go from what I think is the least important do not to the most important do not. I'm going to start with this one right here. That is, do not turn your warm-up into a workout. So what do I mean by this? You might look up a lot of different warm-ups and different warm-up routines. Some of them can be very overwhelming, because some of them take you through a huge amount of warm-ups, exercises, and progressions of those exercises that it actually ends up feeling like a workout, and it takes like 20 minutes. And again, a lot of us just don't have that time. You want to get to the workout. So you just need to focus on what's necessary. Again, it should take between 5 to 10 minutes to be ready to rock. So I'm going to get to the second do not, and that is do not skip your warm-up. Plain and simple. Again, it's like jumping into your car when it's brutally cold outside and you take right off. Very highly increased chances, you're going to damage the engine or what have you. Your body is very, very similar. No circulation, no blood flowing. You just get right into your warm-up. Your range of motion is not up to where it should be, could result into an injury. Unless you're sitting under the sun maybe, where it's like 50 degrees and you're already sweating, you might not need to really do a warm-up. That's an exception, but for all else, don't skip your warm-up. The last one I will leave with, and this is, in my opinion, the biggest do not when it comes to warming up for a workout, and that is static stretches. So, why avoid doing static stretching for warm-up? Because it is not a stretch that involves getting the blood flowing. A static stretch, again, is just holding a stretch. So if you're cold, let's just say, and you go to do a hamstring stretch, you could pull that muscle. If you go to, stretch your quads, same thing. You could pull that muscle if it's cold. If you spend time doing static stretches before a workout, you're not only wasting your time with it, but you could actually increase the likelihood of injuring yourself. Yes, I know it sounds crazy. So how many people do you see maybe that actually do that before a workout, that actually static stretch, that sit there and hold stretches before they work out? Now, I actually used to do this because I didn't know what I was doing, right? I just did what I saw what other people were doing. Now, there is an exception to static stretching, and that is if you have already warmed the muscles up, you can do some light static stretching because then you have that blood flowing, you have the flexibility, then you can do some light static stretches, but you really don't want to waste too much time doing it. Now, another exception might be if, you're guided under maybe a physiotherapist, maybe an injury or something that you're recovering from, then if it's advised that you do a specific stretch, then yes, go right ahead. But by all other means, you should not static stretch before a workout. That is for after a workout. And that is when a static stretch, holding a stretch, when your workout is completed, is the best time to do it. To summarize, is warm up for 5 to 10 minutes. That's all you really need. Use dynamic movement and whole body warm-ups. The three do nots, again, don't turn it into a workout. Keep it simple, make it effective. You can do it in 10 minutes. Do not skip a warm-up, and do not do static stretching for a warm-up. If you learn something new, just let me know. That would be awesome. If you have any questions or comments, leave them. As always, share this content with others because you never know who it might benefit. That is my topic today on warming up. Stay warm, everybody, especially if you're in Eastern Ontario. Take care, everybody. Happy Friday. Stay fit.